Ooh, okay, hey. Oh no, you saw my messy kitchen, my messy floor. Uh, I kind of want to talk about stuff. I'm started cleaning up, and I'm just like thinking out loud and stuff. And you know how you have those out loud moments, and you're just talking to yourself because you're at home alone. If you're home alone, or if you're basically talk in your room, and then you know how you have that half thought, and then you speak out the rest, like it's another person kind of thing. That's what I do. I know it's weird. It's funny though. So here's my little concern is that because I hear that probably people are becoming more atheist or just not becoming religious or maybe I don't know whatever because of certain things that happened in their life. But the thing is that I'm concerned about, which is completely different, is that their kids are going to not know maybe about I don't know forgiveness and that there are other people kind of suffering in the world. Like they're not the only ones. That whatever they're going through, probably somebody else is going through the same thing, or even worse, in another country, for instance. Like they have hunger problems. So that's my thing that I'm worried about. That these kids might be so wrapped up in themselves, in their little bubble, that they don't kind of realize that their bubble branches out and that there's other things that are happening in the world that are just unfortunate and kind of try to open their eyes, especially like maybe a young age because like at a young age they kind of more are accepting maybe of it. So that's kind of my concern is that they're just going to be wrapped up, that they're not going to care that there's people kind of suffering in the world other than maybe when it happens to them, like a hurricane, tornado, earthquake, something, and then they're like, I gotta help out because I went through the exact same experience. Or like, I gotta help this person because this person got bullied and I'm also bullied or whatever. Something like that. So that's my main concern, that people who have children that don't go to church are gonna have terrible issues, I guess, in the future with themselves, with other people, and are not going to know how to cope with it or try to deal with it other than go on the internet, look it up, and research a shit ton of it or something, and then realize that they have an issue, like they're depressed, they have anxiety, they have an eating disorder, they have some learning disability thing that they think that they have, but maybe they don't, or something like that. So that's, again, something to look at in the future. Um, I'm not saying that you have to go to church or anything. I'm just saying that that's one of the concerns that I think the future is going to be facing, and global warming. And that's pretty much it, other than there's nowadays I think people have anxiety and stuff. I hear that they have anxiety issues, that they have depression issues, that they have a lot of these different things that they realize they have and that they get stressed about, that they worry about, that I don't know where that came from. I think it's because our society has changed so dramatically that our human instincts are somehow not adapting, that we have this stress issue because when you get stressed you have fight and flight, and basically that means you run away and stuff, but we're internalizing it instead of maybe because we used to got chased by predators, so we're not utilizing that, and we end up internalizing it, and basically we suddenly have like maybe a panic attack or stress or anxiety or frustration and stuff, and we don't know how to cope with it because it's too much for us. And I can understand that because I get frustrated with lots of things, or I'm just like, no, that's not right. Like, what do you want about? Like, and I just kind of maybe shut down or just stomp my feet and go away from like maybe whatever it is, but I have never done that at work or anything, mostly at home, which my parents kind of understand. So, yeah. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that living these days is kind of can have so many different turmoils and stuff that you kind of sometimes don't know where you're heading, especially if you're a young adult, I guess you could say, or even a preteen, or they call them guppies too, which is kind of funny. So like a guppy, there's somebody out the. Okay, that's creepy. I think she's watching me. Like, what the try not to swear in my video. So yeah, so it's really hard, I think, trying to grow up, especially in 2000. Probably a lot more than a 90s. I'm a 90s girl. So, and I think our generation is really lucky that we had this period where we didn't have computers, and then computers started coming into our lives, and we kind of saw the adaptation of computers. Like, I remember the old square Macintosh, and me and one of my old friends from elementary school playing Pong on it. I remember that was the most exciting thing, but it was so boring. We got so bored of it, except I'd be like kind of trying to convince her to play it, but she was more of an active girl, kind of. So we ended up going to her trampoline a lot, and it was so much fun. Except when the bats came out. Then we're like, oh, we can't jump anymore. We might hit a bat. But I'm like, they use echolocation. They're not going to hit us. And we saw the progression of basically electronics. And I don't know if we got more into them than maybe the now generation. But we're fortunate enough that we have what we have. I remember the old flip phones. I've had the little keyboard thing. Now I have a touch screen, and I'm recording on it now, and it's just amazing. Ooh, my brother's back home.